Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. We're going to talk about the narc apology, how our narcissists apologize in a different way. We keep hearing that narcissists always lie. Sometimes we feel like, but sometimes they tell the truth. Sometimes they do apologize. There's like a cognitive empathy that they have where they know what they're supposed to say. So when things get kind of heated, there could be times that, they do apologize. They'll usually apologize because they want something, whether it's for you to start doing the laundry again or cooking for them or sex, whatever. So it's after that supply. Or if they're bored and they just want to talk to you, so they break the silent treatment. I went to the lake. I don't know if I have something in my hair from the lake. And that's another thing I want you guys to do. Every day, do a challenge. Give yourself one thing that you should do. Today I took a CPR class and I went to the beach. I kind of didn't want to go to the beach. I'm really glad I did. It turned out nice. That's part of our healing process. But the apology that we get from the narcissist. So we hear the words. Did they really go in depth what they're sorry for? If you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm a teacher and we tell kids to apologize to each other. And they'll be like, oh, sorry. And I think we should take it a step further in society. We say, acknowledge what you're sorry for. So kids are taught, just say sorry, just do it, just do it. So they do it. It becomes reactionary. I had a friend who we just started connecting, just a female friend, and she was kind of sad yesterday, so she asked me to come over. So I don't really know her that well. It's kind of like a friend of a friend, but I was available. I'm up late at night, so she's like, why not? She's down in the dumps. So today we like text back and forth, and she said that she was glad that I was there, and I said it was really nice seeing her, and she said thanks, I love you too. And then later on she's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry, like I can't remember what she said, whether it was autocorrect. I should tell you what she said. This might be interesting. Because it becomes reactionary, where it was kind of like, not necessarily, she says, I didn't mean to say love you too, because I said it was nice seeing you, sleep well. And I sent this last night, and she said, thanks, love you too. So it's reactionary. Did she really read it? Or was, so the apologies that we get is what I'm trying to say is like a reaction. And so she was just telling me she feels better today. But some of the things that we do in life are reactionary. Whether we say bless you and we're like, oh, somebody's an atheist, like I'm just used to saying it. So even atheists might say it just because that's just what we're supposed to do. And we want something heartfelt where they're reflective on what they're apologizing for, because it makes it more genuine. And it makes them do that self-reflection. So hopefully, if they know what they're sorry for, it means that they're going to change. So they don't even know what they're sorry for, or if they're just spewing words, they're not going to change their behaviors. And also to the narcissist, pay attention to the way they apologize when they do go into a description of what they're sorry for. Do they say, I'm sorry that I forgot this, or I'm sorry that I upset you? So I'm sorry I upset you, because their actions upset you. That would be normal. But what they'll do is, I'm sorry you're upset. So it goes from me self-reflecting on, I'm sorry I did this, to I'm sorry I'm pushing it off onto you. You feel bad. You feel bad. I'm sorry you feel bad. Deal with it. Fix it. As opposed to it being internalized on them. And that's things that we sometimes overlook, where we're like, he was so sweet, he realized that I was upset. Well, that's how we fall into these traps, into that rabbit hole that we start going down, is it slowly eats away at us. It kind of shows the lack of empathy, and it can be little things like that. And we're like, am I overreacting, or am I analyzing this too much? And, pay attention to the way you apologize. Did you say, I'm sorry, I know that I made you late, and I'm sorry, but the kids were late at school, and I was going to be there, but I'm sorry that, as opposed to, if you would have done things different, if you would have told me 2 days ahead of time, I wouldn't have been late. So we think it's an apology, but it's not a genuine one. And as we go through these relationships, the word patterns that they do, the way they don't take accountability, the way they don't self-reflect, the way everything's in the moment, they don't see what their actions or their words do to people. Facial expressions, they have that little smirk. Where does that come from? It's I've been studying a lot on body language, like in depth, and even just little, movements, little, if you shake your head, no, but it's a confirmation type statement. You're showing what your answer is. Do you love me? I do. And you got to be careful on that too, because the example that I saw was pretty spot on, to show, that's so delicious. That is so delicious. And I mean it. And it's me like, oh, enjoying it. So sometimes it gets confusing on what exactly it is, but go with your gut feeling. A lot of times your gut is telling you things. There's a reason you're at this channel right now. There's reasons you've been searching other people. You're trying to find the truth. But the reason you're trying to find the truth is something doesn't seem right. The reason you're trying to find the truth is because something doesn't seem right. You guys have been spending hours upon hours, just like I have, researching and trying to find these answers. Think about a math test. We'll just pick algebra. So you got that answer, Oh, that one's easy. Got that answer. Wait. I better double check this. And you're thinking through it and you're like, so deductive reasoning is telling me it's probably still wrong. Maybe if I try it this way, but you're stuck on that answer because your gut's telling you most likely the answer you wrote is not right. And that's what we're doing with our narcissists when it's easy, like, oh, he said he picked me up at 6 and he's here. Oh, this and that and da da da. It's all falling into place, and boom, something's not sitting right. Be really careful on this too, because I've mentioned before, I'm 99% of the time right. And I'm not like that stalker type. There was one, what did I do? One time, trying to remember. I think it's only one time I ever had this gut feeling. And I had tried to go to sleep and something didn't sit right. And I drove across state, and guess what? He wasn't home at 6 o'clock in the morning. And this was like, we were like getting back together, and however the situation went, I still had access to the house, because I was kind of like, we were living together, and then I moved back because he called off the wedding, and then we got back together, and it was not like 100% confirmed that, but it was kind of like, we have a family, we have a daughter, and it seemed like we were together. So I'm like, your bed's made. He's pretty neat, so it makes sense for him to make his bed, but still he went fishing, made his bed. It was 6 o'clock in the morning when I got there, and he wasn't home. And eventually he came home, and I wasn't smart enough to try to see if there's any fishing tackle or anything like that, or if even what he was wearing. I was too young to, I was old enough, but not smart enough. I was probably 22 at that time. But the narcissist, when you feel something's not right, I was trying to say that I had the other one had told me so many different lies, and you just like expect a lie. And there was one excuse where it's like, oh, my buddy killed himself. And I'm like, okay, well, okay. And I'm just listening, like, so sick of getting lied to. Turned out it was real. It was real. But all the dead grandmas, I think you guys can, why don't you write down in the comments how many dead grandmas they have? Because it's all, oh, my grandma died. So I can't do this. And I'm like, how many grandmas do you have? And sometimes we replay it. Because he has like a confusing background where he wasn't sure who his dad was. So at one point he had a brother, and I don't know if it was like three guys to pick from. Then I don't even know, the whole story is so confusing, that the stuff that they do, and we've known each other 18 years and I still don't know what it is. This brother somehow disappeared. But their stories will blow your mind, make you feel like you're crazy. Like right now, if I could sit here for the next like 16 hours, like I swear he said something about a brother, but it seems so weird that I can't put it together. But then we go through this stuff in our minds, like, yeah, but sometimes I do forget things. Can't remember which sister was older, or I mix them up sometimes. And, you know, we're going through all this stuff in our head, and we're trying to see what the truth is. But I swear he said he had a brother more than once. And it was like, the explanation didn't make sense as far as like the three guys, because mom was like a player or whatever. And you don't always go back to that, because you're like, does it really matter? Eventually I'll meet the brother, or he'll bring him up again, and he just never did. And you don't want to like hound him. Like, oh, so tell me, do you have a brother? How is your brother related to you? Who's the father? You don't want to be interrogatory when you're trying to have a relationship with someone. And then when you get to that point of, no, I need to figure this out, they can feel your energy. And I think that's when we're cautious. We're like, if I ask that now, I don't even know how to say it right. So we go through these stressors. And I just wanted to say that pay attention to their body movements. The smirks that they have are kind of like a pleasure. Like I had mentioned in a different video how my first narc, we called off the wedding, and I ended up moving out, and we got back together. And in that time, he had like a mini relationship with someone, slept with someone. And he was like, that really bothered you? Like he got pleasure out of it, as opposed to, God, like, yeah, I did that. And, but I mean, we weren't together, but I'm sorry, I wouldn't have done it if, or whatever. But it was like, yeah, that bugs you. And it goes back to like what kids think are funny. You know, somebody bumps their head and they're like, and, you know, sometimes, you know, little things, you know, where it's like, oh, okay, but where somebody like bashes their head, to where they like some of these videos that I see on YouTube where, you know, it's like the moment before the person died, and that like unsettles me. Somebody died, and others will like laugh at it. So pay attention to your narcissist. You know, there's I don't know, a motorcycle accident. You know, the motorcyclist was speeding and swerved, and then he ends up crashing and dying. And they're like, a motherfucker deserved it. As opposed to, oh my God, what just happened? And nobody's perfect in life. There are times that you might find something funny. You know, but the narcissist just has a different way of looking at things, different way of apologizing, different ways of talking. And their power is they they're so smart on how to just get what they want. It's that push pull dynamic, and it sucks. We feel them pushing us away, so we latch on to them. And I did an example where, you know, if I push you, you're gonna, it's just instinctual, and our emotions are like that too. The exchange of energy that people have is powerful, and I am really starting to see that more and more, because I'm starting to pay attention to more to it, on interactions with different people, on, you know, somebody, you know, pulls away from you, and you try to hug them, they're going to pull away more. But if you just are like, all right, well, you let me know when you need a hug, they'll come to you. And when somebody is depressed, and this is where I want you guys to be careful in your life, try to be around positive people and people who build you up. And we need to also be respectful of other people, not to drag them down too much, to share our feelings, to tell them what we're going through, to ask for support. But have your talk, and then always still enjoy some of that conversation, if you can. Be there when they need people, and people come back and they'll be there for you. But relationships can get drained if it's always filled with negativity, and our souls can become filled with more depression if we wallow in it. There's divorce statistics on people are more likely to get divorced if their buddies are getting divorced. It's kind of like a copycat syndrome. It kind of shows like the grass is greener on the other side or something like that. But when you surround yourself with positive people, you're going to become more positive. When you surround yourself with more goal-oriented people, you'll become more motivated and hopefully achieve some goals. Some of us, are happy in our lives, but we can see different things, and something's going to stimulate in your mind, like, I could do that too, or look at what that brought that person, or always take advantage of life. I got stuck in those ruts. And that's why I'm telling you, please don't do that. I'm in a better mood that I went to the beach today. Just going to the beach. I went by myself, and I didn't go all that long, but it's a trickle down thing. When we get depressed, so I could have stayed home today, and I probably would have eaten a little bit more because I was at the house. So you can either gain weight, or I would have just been stuck watching all these YouTube videos, because those can get addictive. Then you get into the TikTok, and then you get into this. And also too, with watching some of these YouTube videos, careful what you click on. It takes you down this crazy like rabbit hole. You start out, how do I have positive thoughts? This, that, and then you go into whatever. Let's say it was that photos or moments before the person died, and then it goes into murders, criminology stuff, and then it goes into psychopaths, and then it goes into dating where they kill each other, and you're like, now you're paranoid to date. You're depressed, you hear all these stories. It's just be careful. Be mentally strong enough. Try to pick positive things that you look at. Sometimes the news has gotten us down with the COVID and the war in Ukraine and the constant bombardment of the financial struggles that we have and the mass shootings. Try to listen to upbeat things. I know for me, I'm not really a TV watcher, but I couldn't watch romantic movies. They made me sad. I couldn't listen to the radio. I stopped listening to the radio, which is sad. But they kept playing too many love songs. Like, I'm so glad you're here. And it just made me more depressed. So understand yourself. But when you can, get back to enjoying the music that you can. Because I like going out and dancing at a bar. When it's the right kind of music, because it's good energy, it's exercise, and it's right down the street. They have like an outdoor concert type thing. So I'm starting to get out, and when I do that, I don't necessarily meet people. Maybe it'll happen, but I'm just there exercising and enjoying, and it gives you an adrenaline rush. It gives us some endorphins, which will increase our mood. It also helps when you're moving your muscles. Your muscles have a memory. They burn fat When your muscles are stimulated, they burn fat more. The more muscles you have, the higher calories you can have to maintain the same physique. And as I get older, your joints start hurting. I'm trying to strengthen my muscles so my joints don't hurt as much. Where our life goes right now uh, is really up to us. So eat healthy, exercise, meet people, do things. Comment below on one thing you did today. I think every day you should go somewhere where, at least 3 times a week, somewhere where you're going to see people. Even if it's a grocery store, go to the gas station, just buy yourself a juice or something. Or just ask for directions, just talk to someone and try to do that. Go for a bike ride. You'll probably pass somebody and smile at them, say hi to them. Get yourself used to talking to people and, in a sense, being a little vulnerable again. Watch out for those red flags, but don't seclude yourself into being a hermit. Like that girl I just hung out with, we had a really nice time. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I knew she was having a hard time. I was like, I was just about to go to bed, but I'm like, you know what? She's not that far away. And I might have started a really good friendship, or at least somebody I could call here and there. So take the opportunities to start developing friendships. Not necessarily even romantic friendships, because who knows what's going to happen with that girl. That girl could invite me to a bonfire and I might find the love of my life. So if I didn't take care of that friendship, it might not lead me to the path of where I'm supposed to be. And just believe in the process. Believe in healing. The more effort you put into healing, instead of wallowing, is going to bring you to happiness quicker. And just being out there in the breeze and the water, and it was good. It was good. So comment below. Let's keep some ideas going for people. It's good to read a book, but we got to get back to mingling and talking to people, not necessarily even to date, but people need people. They have that failure to thrive. It can actually cause a baby to die. We need love. And there's a hierarchy of what our needs are. And we need food, love, shelter. Food, love, shelter. You have it all. So if you have that, you have everything you need to rebuild your life. And it doesn't have to be shelter that you own, because through love, you might have somebody providing you shelter or food, and it all works. But you got to get that ball rolling. So as far as the apology from the narcissist, it's empty and it's weighing you down when it's supposed to lift you back up. Like, okay, thank you for apologizing. That brought me back up, just like if, and you guys are beautiful people, but if I said you're ugly and that hurts your feelings, and I'm like, I didn't mean that your face is ugly. I just meant you were showing an ugly attitude. I'm sorry I said it that way. So you're like, okay, I'm still, back to being whole. I understand what you were trying to say. But if they were like, well, you're gross as fuck and nobody's going to want you, like, I'm sorry, but you're ugly. Well, they said, I'm sorry. It's all on how they convey what they're feeling, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but now we're feeling like we're worthless. You guys might hate my hair. You'd be like, I can't stand blonde hair. I like that jet black. That's what you're attracted to. That's what you think is pretty. That doesn't mean I'm ugly. It just means you have a different preference. You just have a different preference. Doesn't mean that I'm worthless. Doesn't mean that my personality isn't something you can like, and we got to take that. This is sometimes hard. giving somebody a chance who you judge them by the outside. Get to know people, get to know people. And there's a lot of good people out there. 20-25% are narcissists. I'll tell you what, that's some good news, because 75 to 85 or 75 to 80% at least have a chance of not being narcissistic. And I'll do more on statistics on all the different mental illnesses. And it's also where you guys live. The United States has the highest mental illness. So different countries might have it a little easier. But they also have a different structure in who is the head of household. And I've started getting into that. I'll do another video on that, how that affects things, because we're in a equal society and we don't have a third person making decisions. So I live in the United States, so we're kind of button heads. Like we're supposed to exchange. This is my turn, this is your turn. Oh, of course we agree on that, or which is more logical to do. Other countries, it's like, nope, this is what we're doing. Oh, okay. And they're just raised a different way. And it causes stressors because we have to work through things. But the narcissist takes over, and this is where it gets tricky, is we agreed to kind of be equal. Some of us are more submissive, which is fine, if that's what your personality is. And that's the thing, is I'm fairly submissive, you know, but it's like, to be completely controlled, you lose yourself, you know. So it's okay if that's your personality. That's okay. When it's not okay is when you don't have a say in anything. So you're submissive, you're going to cook dinner, but you get yelled at for what you cooked. Or you ask them, would you like spaghetti or chicken tonight? And they're like, oh, it's up to you. And then you get bitched at because you chose chicken. That's when it's not okay. When they're hurtful to us, and we try. So you guys are good people. You're trying to find the answers, but pay attention to the way people talk. I'm sorry you're upset. I'm sorry you're upset. It's almost like, just go deal with it. When we're like, I'm upset because of what you did. I'm upset because of what you did. I'm not upset because of who I am. I'm not upset because I had the wrong perception. So give yourselves a big hug. Tell me some things that you like to do, and tell me what you did today. Make it a challenge. You'll be a lot happier. And I'll see you in the next video. One-on-ones are available, and topic requests are always welcome.